I recall first falling asleep sometime between 2:15 and 2:45 in the morning, and waking myself up around 3:30. In the morning with a third-party website. Off of my laptop. I woke myself up at 6:30 because that was the time Dad recommended. 6:30 in the morning. And then I recall we left around 7. In the morning. And then roughly from 7:30 in the morning to about 8:30 in the morning at the latest. If I recall, it was the 8 in the morning Mass. Dad and I went to a Catholic church and we joined the pew his parents were at. Although, we went to if I recall, we went to a different Catholic church from the one we went to the last time I attended a Mass. Which wasn't it was earlier this year. The Mass consisted of there were points in which there was some singing. Generally, I didn't join along because I didn't know the lyrics to the songs. And there wasn't a teleprompter or anything that would show me the lyrics to sing. So that really only left me with the option of listening to what everyone was singing at various points. I'm not too familiar with what you're supposed to do during a mass at a Catholic church. Yeah, but at one point, just about everyone went up to the priest in a sort of square around the perimeter of all the pews. With the priest in this corner, standing in this corner the whole time. Or the top right corner, which was the corner that was closest to the pew we were all sitting at. Though I don't recall getting any communion wine or any bread. I wasn't given any. And the bread kind of more resembles a small round cracker. Just based off what I observed. Throughout the day, it was an enjoyable, cool, partially cloudy, but still sunny day. Roughly from 9 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning. Dan and I were at his parents' place, initially with just us and his parents. But later on, a lot of the family members on Dad's side joined us for a sort of I would describe it as a Mother's Day breakfast party. During which I had some fruit, the lion's share of it being pineapple. Because that's what drew my interest, along with a couple of Danishes. And a bagel half with creamy peanut butter on it. And throughout the whole time, I had 2 to 3 cups of plain coffee and had some interaction with some of the family members, primarily regarding my polystyrene drawings. Since that's what I tend to work on these days. And towards the end, there was a brief taking of some family photos that I took part in. After that, I was at Dad's place roughly from noon to about 3:30 p.m. before he took me to Mom's place. During that afternoon period, I didn't really do much, since at that time I hadn't really gotten much sleep. I think I may have briefly slept roughly from 2:45 p.m. to 3 p.m. Although I'm not entirely sure on that. Then once I was at Mom's place, I was there roughly from 3:45 p.m. to 6 p.m. before we left for Brew. And we were there roughly from about 6:15 p.m. at the latest to about 7:45 p.m. If I recall, roughly from 4 to 5 p.m., Mom and I went to Wegmans to get some groceries. And then I helped bring those groceries into the house and into where they needed to be. The groceries included a new gallon of whole milk, since the old gallon of milk, I assume it was a 1%, had just a little bit left, and it was more than a week past its Best By date. It didn't smell funny to me, but Mom felt that it was going rotten. It didn't seem curdled to me. If I recall correctly, you can get away with drinking milk a few days past its Best By date. I mean, the dates are more arbitrary than your senses. And so it's better to determine whether something's gone bad or not using that. I recall around maybe 7:40 5:45 p.m. after we were done eating and drinking at Brew, during which I finished all of the drinks I got, including the initial water. On our way back home, Mom made a brief trip at our local Walgreens. For which I recall staying in the car. It was about a 5 or so minute trip. Not really grocery shopping, but just to get an item or two. And I used that time to maintain my Spanish streak on Duolingo. As the thought to do that happened to suddenly come to mind at that time. Perhaps due to having that bit of time to myself. Although I'm not entirely sure on that. These days I tend to focus on DPS Idol more than this game, Alvenar.